Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. You can have a seat.
Thank you.
My name is Alexis Lett, and I'm the head social worker here at the agency. Your name is Jasmine, right?
Yes.
Okay. First, before I get to know a little bit more about you and why you're here today, I did want to make sure you did sign that confidentiality form with the receptionist, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so basically, what that is, just to kind of reiterate, that anything that we discuss will be left in this room. So, this is a safe place where you're able to express yourself and ask questions if need be, and ask for different resources. And I'll provide you with resources, and it won't leave this room. So, I just want to make sure that you understand that so we can move forward without any type of hindrances. Okay?
Yes,
Okay. If you don't mind, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and what brings you in today?
ma'am. Well, I'm 17. I go to E. Smith High School. I'm a junior. I'm in band. I'm on the debate team, and
Good.
I also sing in the chorus. And I love writing and performing poetry.
Oh, that's awesome. I love poetry myself. So that's a beautiful talent to have. So what brings you in today?
I mean, I really don't even want to be here. I kind of just came because my parents feel like this is our last resort. Not really talking with them right now, uh, but they want me to deal with some things because I'm feeling angry, worthless, and really depressed from time to time. So we feel like this would just be able to help.
Okay. Well, one, I want to say thank you, Jasmine, for being transparent and being here. A lot of people can't really be honest and they don't want to be honest, so I appreciate the fact that at least you're here and you're letting me know about the different emotions that you're experiencing. But I would like to ask, if you don't mind, if you could explain. Now, you said that you feel sometimes you feel worthless, depressed, and angry. Can you explain why you feel that way?
Okay, well, it's just all really stemming from this one situation. Usually, both of my parents are working, and I'm attending one of my activities after school. But there was a particular day where I didn't have anything to do after school, so I went over to my aunt's house because that's what I usually do after school if I don't have anything
Mhm.
as far as activities to do. But this day, I got to my aunt's house, and the only person home was her boyfriend. And he told me that everyone was going to be back shortly, so I felt comfortable enough to go in the house and, wait for everyone because they've been together for so long. He's like an uncle. But
Take your time.
I mean, I didn't do anything. I was just sitting, waiting on everyone to get back, and it was just me and him, and one thing led to another, and I had no control over what happened. And yeah, that's why I'm
Okay. Um,
here. I did not want it. He forced it on me. He took advantage of me. I had no control over what happened.
okay. I'm sorry to hear that, Jasmine. It's not something that anybody should have to go through, especially at your age. And it's not your fault. It's not your fault. And with you sharing that, which, like I said, it takes a lot for you to be transparent and to let me in. That's a very intimate and very sensitive topic, I'm sure, to discuss. Since you have and you're here, I would like to know what do you want to get out of these sessions?
Just I want to move past this. I want to stop being so angry all the time and depressed. I want to be happy again and be the person I was before any of this even happened to me.
Okay. Um, so what I hear you saying is you want to heal from this trauma the trauma you faced and experience happiness again, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's a very realistic goal because it's something that's going to come from within. Happiness is not something that I can teach you, but I can definitely help you get to a healthy place. And so, Jasmine, I'm willing to help and to work with you. And if you're willing to work with me, we can work toward that goal. Okay? Okay. Are you familiar with the word cope?
No, not really.
Okay. Cope is to deal effectively with something difficult. And I say that, and I'm introducing that word to you because a lot of times when we go through these difficult things, such as what you went through at such a young age, we only know how to react to it. We don't know how to cope and deal with it in a healthy way. So typically we end up responding negatively, and our behaviors are affected because of that, because we don't know what to do. And it's very normal what you're experiencing. So I totally understand. And the reason why I mentioned cope is because I want to practice an intervention with you. It's an intervention skill, excuse me. And you may not be familiar with it, but it's called trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy. Have you ever heard of that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Well, it's a very beneficial intervention for your age group, especially with those that have dealt with some type of trauma. Traumas can be different, but it's very beneficial if used right. And what it is, it's a conjoint child and parent psychotherapy. So at the beginning, I'll be having sessions with you, trying to start from the beginning to see what your goals are. And then towards the end of your treatment, I'll bring your parents in and we'll discuss communication skills and different things that will help you all coexist together after this trauma. Is that something that you think will be helpful for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Also, just some additional information. This trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy helps with anxiety, behavior issues, parental skills and support, as I said before, communication, and reducing shame and embarrassment. And a lot of times, those trauma that your age group face can bring those things. And so we want to kind of help you deal with those feelings. If I can move forward, one of the first components of trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy is what we call psychoeducation. Have you ever heard of psychoeducation?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What that is it gives you and your parents a better understanding of some of the behaviors and emotions you are experiencing. And the two things that I want to focus on with you is self-care and establishing a safe place to vent your emotional frustrations. So a lot of times we don't feel comfortable venting because we're not in a safe place. And so we want to make sure that you can identify a safe place and that you can utilize those safe places. Okay? Okay. Well, I am very excited to meet you. I'm so happy that you came in and that you've shared with me. I thank you for your honesty. And I want to move forward in leaving you with some new tools to practice, kind of like homework, something that you would have in school. What we'll do is we'll meet weekly if that works for you. And then I'll assign you some form of homework. You'll come back and let me know how those things work. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
No, not yet.
Okay. So we'll focus on relaxation techniques. When those negative feelings arise, this will give you a few options. Instead of responding with your first emotion, these will give you some tools that you can use. One is your focused breathing, taking deep breaths in and deep breaths out. This is something that I have to do often. It's something that's called take a moment. And so really what that is, if you're in a situation and for whatever reason you become angry or frustrated or feel anxiety, you take a moment. You may have to isolate yourself for a moment and really just use that technique of breathing in and breathing out to calm yourself down. The second one is learning to control your thoughts. And it's what's called thought stopping. And so anytime you feel those negative thoughts coming, for whatever reason, you have to tell yourself and retrain your brain to think positive things. And the last one is positive affirmations. Since you write poetry, you might be familiar with this. Do you usually write positive affirmations?
Sometimes.
Okay. Some of those could be just some examples. I am beautiful. I am smart. I am wonderful. I'm better than this. Even if you just want to use words, smart, great, beautiful. Those are positive things. You can write them out. You can post them on your mirror. So I have them on my mirror, and it's very helpful for me to have a visual of things that I want to end up in my mind. And lastly, what I want you to do, since you say you love to write poetry, is to use this as a tool that's tailored to your interest. Have you been writing poetry lately?
Yeah,
Angry poetry? Well, that's okay, because the goal is to really get those emotions out. And I'd rather them be on paper or, writing them out on your iPhone than to lash out on someone. So what I want you to do is I want you to practice one of those components that I gave you, the focused breathing tool, learning to control your thoughts, and the positive affirmations. Practice one by our next meeting. And then I want one journal entry a week. Like I said, you can write it down on a piece of paper, in a notebook, in a journal, or you can put it in your phone. I don't need to read it unless you want to share. I'm always willing to listen to your art. But I just want to know that you're doing that, and it's really going to be beneficial if you do it when you're feeling those negative emotions, okay? Would you be able to meet once a week?
Yeah.
Okay. So on your way out, if you can stop and meet with our receptionist, and we can schedule your next appointment, okay?
All right.
All right. Nice meeting you, Jasmine. Have a great day.